Happy April Fools, ladies and gentlemen, here from the Angus Glen Community Centre for Day 3 action of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Today is no joking matter. Game 1 of Day 3 here features the two teams with the best regular season record out of all 6 teams here. From the NOHA, the North Bay Trappers, a 35-1 regular season record, while the Waterloo Wolves in the Alliance supported a 33-2 record. The great thing about this tournament, the regular season does not matter. All that matters is this week alone. Hi friends, I'm Mitch Kane and welcome back inside the Angus Glen Community Centre here in Markham, Ontario. And we'd like to take a look at the standings through 2 days of play. The Toronto Titans, the only team with 2 regulation wins, so they sit atop the leaderboard with 6 points. The Waterloo Wolves, who we'll see in just a couple minutes, in second place with 5. The hosts, the Markham Waxers, picking up a big regulation win over Ottawa last night, puts them into third place. The North Bay Trappers suffering a tough regulation loss to the number 1 seed Toronto Titans in regulation, so they sit at 2 points after their overtime victory on day 1, and sitting just outside the playoff picture currently, Ottawa Myers Automotive, just the 1 point as they suffered a 7-6 loss against the Waterloo Wolves on the opening night, and the North Shore Whitecaps still searching for their first goal of the tournament, been shut out 2-0 in each of their first 2 games. As a reminder, the top 4 teams qualify for the weekend as ground to be made up. Only 2 days in here from the U18 Central Region Championships. A lot of hockey still to be played, as we'll throw it down to ice level for player introductions, as well as the playing of the Canadian National Anthem. Starting goaltenders for the 12 o'clock slate for the Waterloo Wolves. Number 1, Grady McCall gets the call. He's 1-0 so far in this tournament with an .800 save percentage. Got charged with 6 goals in the overtime victory against Ottawa Myers Automotive. On the other end, number 72, the big goaltender Logan Coates, standing at 6'3". He gets the call. He had the start in North Bay's opening game in the victory against Markham. He got charged for 3 goals against in the overtime win and has a .929 save percentage in the tournament. Starting lineup for the Wolves, it's going to be Howell and Strauss on the back end with Kuhneman, Fast, and Bonneville up front. Fournier, Siegel, and Popke up front with Gravel and Synot on the back end for North Bay. The two teams with the best regular season record underway here from the Angus Glen Community Centre. Strauss will take first. Swings it over to Howell as he'll chip it forward. Kuhneman now with it. He'll ring it around the boards as out quickly to play it is Coates. He'll ring it around the boards. As the bouncing puck is controlled by Kuhneman at the point, he'll look to dump it back in. Coates deciding whether or not to play it as this gets shoveled out to the front by the Wolves as North Bay moves in transition. Howell plays it to open space as Popke tries to poke it forward, and he'll do so successfully as Howell back to retrieve in the defensive end. Strauss with it on the near side. He'll get across the line. Fends off a stick check as he'll take it behind the net. Strauss waits up high. Swings over Sinclair, a low-lining shot turned away by the left pad of Coates. Strauss up at the point. He unleashes the shot. It's blockered away to the corner again. Howell down low. Sinclair fending off the check. 2 quick shots here for the Wolves within the first minute of play as the puck squirts free and it will be played to open ice by the Trappers. Strauss with the puck. This one deflects forward for Sinclair, but it's taken out of the line as Alves has to reset. Strauss a long first shift here, over a minute. As he still cannot get off. This one's played to open space. Montroy with space. He fires a shot, scooped up by McCall. When speaking with General Manager Mike Bordeaux of the North Bay Trappers before the game, they talked yesterday about trying to scheme their offense for Montroy to get open a little more because he has showcased the elite shot so far this tournament. He scored the opening goal against the Toronto Titans yesterday, and already 3 goals. He leads all tournament players in the goal category as Montroy will take the face-off as it's rang back around. Starcevic, he's going to be on it first. Starcevic comes across the middle as he gets poked free of the puck by Young as it'll be played back behind the net. LaFontaine has it taken away from him. Starcevic will tap it back behind the net as Young leaves it off for Ball. Ball moves it up over the middle as that one escapes the stick of Gravel and goes all the way back into North Bay territory. Gravel, he'll take a check from Smith as it's played right out in front, a backdoor feed. A nice save there as Coates is way out of the net. North Bay couldn't get the shot towards the goal. Waterloo. His puck is played up high. Humphrey was just getting into the shooting lane, ready to let it go, but the net comes off. Coates way out of the crease, trying to pick up the loose stick as Waterloo just couldn't get anything through while the goaltender was out of his net. Eli Humphrey having a strong start to his tournament. Already 2 goals and an assist. He had the overtime game-winning goal against Ottawa Myers Automotive in the 7-6 thriller. When speaking with head coach Kyle Morrison, he mentioned they've had 2 polar opposite games, and I think that sums it up pretty well. A 7-6 overtime victory in game 1, and a 2-0 victory in yesterday's game against North Shore. Kuhneman, a shot across the line. That one deflects over the shoulder of Coates. Waterloo still with the pressure as shot comes from a sharp angle. It's turned away by Coates again. Delivering the hit there is Hobson as the puck rolls up to the point. Miller will swing it over. Near-Ezel walks in, goes to the backhand. Chance right in the blue paint, but is cleared out quickly by the Trappers' defense. Nathan Miller with it. He'll just flip it on into the offensive zone as the defense for Waterloo get a quick change. This one moved right over the middle. Aaron passes. That goes for an icing call. Morrison also mentions the team's was very strong on the penalty kill in yesterday's game. They struggled in game 1 of the tournament, going 0 for 2. But yesterday, a big bounce-back game for the penalty kill, going 5 for 6, or excuse me, 5 for 5. And now across the line, Montroy. He'll have the puck stripped away by Zach Forwell. As he's dancing through the offensive zone, he's being hounded from behind as he finally gets the puck off and gets it away from Hodges. Hodges will chip it into the offensive zone. Ball on it first. He'll ring it around the boards as it goes to the captain, Fast. Fast will just play it back behind his own net. Ball scoops it up. That one just outside the reach of maybe, but he finds a teammate up ice. Fast trying to knock this puck down. He's got a chance in tight. And the shot is stopped by Coates as he's able to get the blocker down. Hallman with a nice pass to spring Fast into the offensive end, and Fast a strong effort on the stick to fend off Buckman, who was checking him from behind, trying to get that stick free. Waterloo with a quick 5 shots here in the opening 4 minutes. Puck played to the point, long shot in. That one will miss wide of the target, where it's scooped up by Popke as he flips it into the offensive end. Top line back out for the Trappers. Siegel moves it over the middle. No one on the receiving end as Howell will turn back in his own end. Aaron Howell moves to the far side just behind Strauss. As Howell, some quick touch passing here by the Wolves, but can't get out of their own end. Strauss drops it off Howell. Return feed looking for Strauss as it's intercepted by Siegel. Not offside. Siegel across the line. He releases the shot. It's blocked away by McCall. Puck comes free. Popke. He loses control of it. Scooping it up first is Bonneville. Bonneville saucers it into the offensive end. Strauss, the defenseman, in on the attack. He goes for the pin as it frees up Popke. And he has some space now in transition the other way. He'll get to center, fired into the far side corner as Popke delivers the reverse check against Bonneville. Humphrey, he sees a lane long lead feed outside the reach of Alves. Will he be able to beat it? And it forced Hodges to make the poke check. Excuse me, Coates there to make the poke check. Back into the offensive end with a burst of speed. Sharp angle shot from Synot. And it's turned away by McCall. This will move right over the middle where it's taken away by Maybe. Sinclair into the offensive end, puts it through his own teammate's legs as he'll go in on the chase. Hanem rings it around. Maybe looking to hold it at the line as he's able to get it back down to the corner. Synot rings it around the near side. Bouncing puck. Goes behind the net of Coates. Has a long stretch feed on the other side. A collision behind the North Bay net as it sees Kuhneman still in the offensive end. Waterloo's going to have to wait regardless of the puck being in their own end. Maybe swings at the ball, back to Maybe. Up for Kuhneman, who deflects it into the offensive end. First back to it is Hanem. They'll ring it around. Wyatt Marks first to it. Puck comes to the slot, but Kuhneman couldn't get control. Moore moves it up for Grant, trying to get to Starcevic as he'll look to deflect it forward as ball controls. He'll play it high off the glass. Marks now with it, moves it over the middle. Here comes Forwell into the offensive end as he gets stick checked. It's taken away by the Trappers. Moore with it the other way. He has space. Moore, toe drag shot, rebound chance. Cleared quickly by Nierizel. Forwell. The Wolves have numbers the other way. Forwell across the line. He'll try and saucer it across. Nierizel picks it up first as his backhand pass attempt is knocked down in the slot. Miller rings it around the boards. First to it are the Trappers as it gets tied up in the near side corner. Working it out will be Moyers. This one gets across the line. Flipped in on target against McCall as slow back to the bench. There's Gravel on the far side for the Trappers. Synot picks it up first. Gravel, one of the top pairing D-men on this North Bay team. That pass is intercepted near Izell. Pass was trying to get through for Popke, but just trickles in to the Waterloo end. Miller behind his own net. He'll move it to Marks. Backhand pass across. Connects with Forwell. Forwell into the offensive zone. He goes to the backhand. Circles back to the forehand, and he'll just play it to open space as he had no other options. Forwell, a dynamic player, in the words of Kyle Morrison. He's very underrated defensively, gets tasks with the other teams in this tournament's top lines. He's got a great release, and he's remarkably physical for standing at just the 5'8", 165 frame. Really drives a lot of the offense here for the Wolves. They're back on the offensive attack as Humphrey in on the draw. 12:27 to play here in the first. Faceoff will be won by the Trappers. It gets played behind the net. Picking it up first is Hobson. He'll move it up. Howell, a floating shot in on target. Turned away by Coates. Waterloo on the rebound is tied up on the far side half boards as it'll come all the way around. Tied up on the near side. Puck squirts free. Hallman on it first. He'll move it to the slot. It's turned away as Popke trying to clear the zone, but he can't. Humphrey up to the point. Strauss, long shot in, misses wide of the target. As the puck jumps the stick of Howell there, and North Bay catches the break. They're in transition. This one moved forward is intended for Siegel, but an errant pass goes into the offensive end. Strauss now looking to kickstart the offense as North Bay was going for a wholesale change. Howell, he'll take it to the inside. Humphrey now with it in the corner. Played around the boards. Montroy picks it up first, trying to escape the zone here for the Trappers. They've been hemmed in the early goings of the first period. Humphrey gets pinned off. Doesn't clear the line. Back on the attack. Bonneville, he drops it back fast. A nice move to the outside, but the puck goes with him. Bonneville trapped in the corner. Trying to work it up as North Bay will play it to open space. North Bay looking to weather the storm here in the early goings. Ball gets across the red line. He'll take it into the offensive end. Ball, end-to-end plays. It's covered up by Coates. We'd like to say thank you to our partners for supporting today's event. Special recognition goes to Milk, a proud partner of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Dairy Farmers of Ontario are proud to support young athletes and encourage healthy, active lifestyles. .10:43 to go here in the first. Shot 7-4 in favor of the Wolves. We'll do it again as Waterloo getting escorted out of the draw. That'll be Kuhneman who gets kicked. So in to take will be Charlie Fast, the captain. And he wins it clean. Up to the point, Nierizel tries to get the quick shot off, but it misses low and wide of the target. Feed up here for Hodges. He gets across the line. It's blocker punched away. A jump ball in the middle as Hodges gloved it down, but it's taken away by Fast. Fast looking to move it out as this will be played over to the near side. Delayed icing was nearly the call, but the official waves it off last second. Puck squirts free. Nierizel moves to the far side. Fast across the line. Fast waits. Fires a shot as that one was deflected away by Coates. Jam play at the side of the net. Waterloo controls. Nierizel rings it around the boards. Fast is going to be first to it as he's got to dodge a check, and he's bumped off the puck. Buckman, a hard pass over the middle as Waterloo win numbers the other way. Nierizel across the line. He'll backhand it through as that'll be punched to the side as Nierizel gets decked. Chance in the slot as Kuhneman fans on the one-time attempt. 10 minutes down here in the first period of game one of day 3. Here from Markham, Ontario, as Miller slows it up behind his own net. Miller goes for a skate, a nice move to the inside, tries to poke it out wide as he'll control in the corner. Moved up high, Alves tries to saucer it across the middle. It's intercepted and a chance the other way. Here comes Fournier in with a burst of speed. Fournier goes to the forehand, can't pull the trigger. Popke gets pinned off in the corner. Strauss goes high above his head. It's held in at the line. Sinclair applying the pressure. Popke down low. Siegel, he goes to the backhand, trying to center that puck as Siegel will guard it and go to the far side boards where it's scooped up by Forwell. He'll play near side to Sinclair. He's across the line. He'll just chip it chase as he takes the brunt of a hip check delivered on the near side. Forwell trying to dance in the middle. That's going to be played out of the zone by Gravel as long stretch pass to the far side. First on it is Burnett. Montroy with it. They'll leave it off for Burnett, but that one jumps over stick. He has trouble handling it in the corner as they'll just play it right back around for Kobe Gravel. Trappers playing keep away behind their own net as Popke will look to chip at it. Siegel applying the pressure. It's turned over to Popke. Offside for Waterloo, but the pass goes errant, so they're allowed to tag up freely. Siegel carrying it over center. Siegel to the middle. Has it knocked off a stick. Just offside the call. As Starcevich on the far side got in a second too early. This puck stoppage is brought to you by Baron Rings, the official championship ring provider of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Baron Rings proudly celebrates the achievements of athletes by creating lasting symbols of success and excellence. Face-off taken by Ball. He's got a burst of speed to the outside. He'll take it on his backhand and ring it around the boards. From behind the net, up high for Humphrey as he takes the brunt of a check. Synot rings it over to the near side. Starcevich, this one batted over the middle, knocked down by Humphrey. He'll spin it to his backhand, tries to move it over the middle, and a chance the other way. Breakaway chance, Montroy in alone, shot off the post. Cedar Montroy beat McCall, but not the red iron. As that one will be offside, the Trappers have to tag up. Maybe. Leaves it off Ball. Back for Kuhneman. Starcevich trying to tap it forward. North Bay, their first dangerous scoring chance of the night. As that one's turned over, right move back to slot. Kuhneman a chance. He fired wide of the target. Kuhneman back on his own rebound. He'll try and look for the goal line play as he couldn't squeeze it through a sea of white shirts. North Bay, their first game as the visitors in this tournament, rocking the white jerseys as here comes Hobson the other way with a burst speed. He's got the lane. It's blockered away. Coates been sharp in the early goings for the Trappers. This one will be backhanded through as the puck comes bouncing through neutral. Gravel first to it. He'll chip it up the boards. Long lead feed for Moore. He's onside, trying to box out. Maybe here as he knocks him to the ground. Moore still with possession of it. He'll go for the pin in the corner as it's poked free by Niereisel up to the point. Gravel brings it back for Moore. He'll play it all the way around, looking for Grant, but a little too strong as Marks picks it up first. Fast in the offensive end, looking for the backdoor feed. Couldn't fit it through to Forwell. Grant stepping up. He's got it through neutral. He'll get to the red line, chip and chase. Has knocked off as Siegel gets a stick there as he's trying to gain possession of it back. Moyer with it in the corner. He's trying to play it up to the point. Knocked down by Bodies. That one clears the line as it was intended for Burnett. He'll have to retreat as Grant fires it in and the rest of Siegel's line mates come out. That one shipped off the boards. Fournier on it first, and he gets it to the ever so dangerous Francis Popke. Popke trying to go to his forehand, but couldn't get through the big body defenseman of Strauss as that one's flipped high up over Synot. As Jason Synot with it now. He's trying to dangle through the middle, has his pocket picked, Fast in the offensive end. Fast takes to the outside, looking for the backdoor feed, couldn't squeeze it through. Strauss, the long bomb shot blocked in front by Synot, and here comes a chance. Francis Popke now, 2-on-2, tries to get it over. Fournier hits the brakes, waits, fires the shot glove down by McCall. Popke just too late in the shift there to get some dangerous speed going. It's the long lead feed by Synot that springs him, but great back check by Strauss, able to break up the play. Fournier really had nothing else other than the shot as he tries to almost hit the fadeaway spinning shot. Fournier 63 points and 27 goals on the season, but can't get one by McCall. There's one backhanded through for Forwell. He's into the offensive end. Takes it behind the net, tries to move it over the middle where Ball has it. Goes D to D, maybe. Winds up the slap shot. Gloved in by Coates. As he denies Chris Maybe, the defenseman that led the team in assists this season. Already 2 points through the first 2 games for Chris Maybe. 39 assists on the season. Led the Wolves. Face-off tied up in the corner. Bonneville trying to get away from danger as puck squirts free momentarily. As it will now be worked out by the Trappers. Starcevic on the near side. He'll move it over the middle. Puck comes free. And maybe a nice touch pass up to Forwell. Montroy picks his pocket. Bonneville into the offensive zone. He fires a shot blockered away by Coates. Bonneville fights it free. It's up to the line. Maybe. A nice move around Starcevic. Down to Forwell. At the side of the goal. Airs it. Alves. A shot. Team scores! A long bomb shot from Michael Ball. Fools Coates in front, and Waterloo's got the 1-0 lead. Alves tried the jam play at the side. The puck comes loose to the point. And Ball squeezed through the legs of Coates. He had some words with the official. It appears the goal will stand. Waterloo, the icebreaker. 16:07 into the first period. As for Michael Ball, his 3rd point, first goal of the weekend. This one played behind the net as North Bay chasing once again. This one into the offensive end. Puck will be knocked free as Miller is able to ring it back for Niereisel. Waterloo controls. It's moved over the middle of the ice. And a huge hit on the near side. And that looked to be up high as the defender was going to the ground. And himself on the far side of the ice. And Moyer is slow to get to his feet. Moyer started to lose his balance, and it looked like a secondary Waterloo player came in there and lowered the shoulder near the head area. And he'll surely get checked out as he was very slow to get back to his feet. As a proud partner, the Hockey Hall of Fame provides players of the game for all championship games. The Hall, home of the Stanley Cup and hockey at its best. Siegel on the draw. Siegel, jam play at the side of the net. Puck still loose, batting around at it as Fournier scoops up the rebound. He'll wait, fires the shot in, that misses wide of the goal. Howell battling against Siegel. Siegel takes him down. Puck loose as Marks piles on top of Siegel. Strauss works it free to Kuhneman. Backdoor feed. Looking for the tap in on the back door, but it's turned away by Coates. One extra pass was made there as Sawyer Smith turns up the good shot. Popke, he's in the offensive zone, tries to get around Strauss. Sharp angle shot, it's turned away by the side of the goal. Popke battling with Howell on the far side. Popke looking to work it free. Puck comes up to the point. Synot down low. Fournier bounce off his man as he'll go for the pin as Strauss works it free, and Fournier gets hit from behind by Howell as Popke gives him a little whack in the back of the legs. And Fournier comes in to try and run Howell, try and get a little get back. As it appears Marks is going to get the call here. The officials finally making the call. Marks gets the interference call, and he might be getting more here, is throwing his arms up. Marks trying to draw any kind of penalty he can as he goes to the box, and he's got to be careful not to get another one on his end as he'll go sit 2 for interference. So North Bay, their power play on display for the first time tonight. They're 1 for 10 on the tournament. While Waterloo, their penalty kill had some issues in the first game against Ottawa, just 2 for 5, but they bounced back with a big 5 for 5 spot yesterday against the North Shore Whitecaps. Ball. He'll ring that all the way around. Scooping it up will be Coates as he'll leave it off Synot. Synot across the line. He'll look for help. He takes it towards the goal line. Tries to get that pass out in front. Puck still loose at the side. Synot back to it first. He'll take it up to the point. Down to the side. Popke fires a shot. It's blocked in front by Ball. And Sinclair clears the zone. 1:15 to go in the first. 1:20 to go in the penalty to Marks. Popke. He'll ring it around. McCall. He's out first to slow it up as he'll play high off the glass and he clears the zone himself. Goaltenders have to be the best penalty killers out there. As the puck bounces and North Bay catches themselves offside as more pushing and shoving starting here as the first period begins to expire. These two teams have met before. They met back in the Gold Puck tournament, which was Waterloo's host tournament back in December, where the two teams tied. So some unfinished business here. No ties in the U18 Central Region Championship. 49.2 to play. Face-off is controlled by North Bay. In across the line, Siegel. He'll try and move it down low. Lafontaine didn't know where the puck was. Fournier is. A penalty is called, and it's going to be against Waterloo once again. Forwell going to the box. Another interference call. As the officials starting to bear down here. North Bay now 39.5 seconds left on the clock in the first period, but 46 seconds of 5-on-3 play. Bonneville, Ball, and Strauss out there for the Wolves. Siegel wins the draw cleanly, and that's a hand pass as Montroy. He gets dumped after the fact by Ball. Montroy was trying to get the puck first on the draw, and he touched it with a hand. Synot in there a little too quickly to tag up, so face-off comes outside. 36 seconds. North Bay looking to get set up quickly here on the 5-on-3. Very wide approach from the defense of the Wolves. On the face-off formation, Lafontaine will wait. Synot now takes it across the line, looking for Fournier. Trying to get it through, and Waterloo just clears the line. Bonneville gets it out, 20 seconds to go here in the first. Played over the near side, Siegel moves it far. Synot fires a shot, pops mile high in the air. McCall doesn't know where it is. Backdoor feed, Montroy is stopped as it's played to open space. That one just escapes the line as Fournier will take it back. He'll just ring it in to the offensive end as Strauss will air out the clock. North Bay pushes late, but can't get one by Grady McCall. Score after the first, Waterloo 1, North Bay 0 here from day 3 of the 2026 U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Join us here in 15 minutes or so for second period action. You won't want to miss it here on the Ontario Hockey Federation YouTube channel.
got something to call mine. Oh, need someone to talk to. Right now. Oh, we are on our way. Starting today.
The TELUS Cup is coming to Peterborough. Canada's men's U18 National Club Championship is taking over the Peterborough Memorial Centre. From the opening face-off to the final goal of the championship game, the TELUS Cup delivers unforgettable moments at the highest level of U18 hockey in Canada. Be there for every moment. Get your tickets now at hockeycanada.ca/TELUS Cup.
Gold medal winner!
There's change, and change is always good.
I'd like to continue making sure freedom of movement is smooth. It's easier for kids to play, making sure as many kids who want to play can play, making sure that the OHF is well managed financially, well governed. Those things they're not sexy, but they're important.
Being part of the future of hockey, I'd like to make sure that hockey continues being hockey. My goal also is to be that devil's advocate, helping understand and question what we are doing to make sure that it is the right thing to do in the future.
Progress that I would like to see is to really continue to push the game and to push the quality of our events and the player experience and bring in some new and exciting and innovative initiatives like online streaming for our OHF championships.
For me, it's all about the players. They will always need support. We need to nurture their well-being physically, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. How can we do that in a good way? What does that look like? Growth and development, what change looks like in a good way, the culture and respect and integrity for the benefit of the players, and accessibility at all levels. So recruitment and retention for players. How do we get volunteers on board? How do we keep them involved? And how can we make that process streamlined and easier for that to happen?
What I would like to see is spend more time on recreational hockey and provide the recreational player who make up most of our membership feel more important and more worthy of the attention that some of the representative teams and people get, and translate that into the recreational stream.
It's an avenue by which players get to participate in a recreational activity that's structured, that's safe, and that, as I said previously, produces some pretty good citizens.
What progress I'd be looking for are just continued work towards inclusion, diversity, making the game more affordable, making the game easily accessible in terms of registration, and also continue the path of continued growth within hockey.
The vision of hockey in Ontario is a very complicated issue. There are a lot of people that have a lot of different views about what it should be. We work together better now than we ever have. We're on the same page more now than we ever have. So my job is to listen to people.
I'm most excited about the leadership role that OHF is taking on, and you can really see it in the customer service that's being delivered. Always thinking about the players and always thinking about the experience of enriching communities through hockey.
Success as chair to me would be having people say the members of the Ontario Hockey Federation get along better than they've ever gotten along. We collaborate more than we've ever collaborated. We trust each other more than we've ever trusted each other. If we all communicate and we all trust each other, we'll all make progress.
Personally, receiving the scholarship, it's meant a lot to me. It kind of brought some light to what had happened to me. I wasn't able to work for about 6 months. It's helped me and my family a lot, just paying for school and it being less of a burden. I want kids to have the same experience I had when I was a kid. I think a lot of people bond over hockey and what it's given to them, so I want to give the same to the future youth.
As someone that never played at a high level of hockey, I never really imagined being a professional referee until 2022. And I really thought, where could this job go?
So I played A in Mississauga, and the association reached out to our team for timekeepers. And when I wanted to start, they offered me a position to start officiating. From then, just climbing through the ranks of the Mississauga Hockey League, Greater Toronto Hockey League, and into the Ontario Hockey League. Not playing at a high level is one thing that sticks out when you go to referee at a high level. I feel like I have something to prove going into these bigger games and big rinks. Some coaches know that you never played at a high level, so how could you be refereeing? And it's important to remind yourself that you're there for a reason, just like they are. Your name didn't fall out of a hat and all of a sudden you're refereeing a professional hockey game. Off seasons are where you make the most gains as an official and player. Something that I think is very important as an official that didn't play high-level hockey is your skating ability. Take power skating lessons, sit on the ice, whether it's with your friends or alone, and get skated. As you climb the ranks and start to officiate major, junior, and professional hockey, you really start to notice the difference that communication makes with the players, coaches, other officials, and above. Staying composed, professional, and handling pressure is very important. Stakes are so high that we need to make correct, accurate decisions as best as we can. We don't get replays like you do at home watching the TV. We've got to make it that split second, and it's got to be as accurate as possible. I think getting into officiating can be daunting at times. You get yelled at, people think you're wrong, when really most of the time you are right. You start second-guessing your abilities and you get discouraged. So I think just reminding yourself that all the hard work and dedication that you put into over the years, it's very rewarding in the end.
So that specific shooting drill that we were working on today is to help give them those extra shooting techniques so that in a game-like situation, they're not just using one or two, they've got multiple ways of being able to shoot the puck. Not only does that make it more difficult for the defenseman to defend, but also for that goaltender to not only track it, but making sure that they're able to square up on the puck as well. So just helps them become more of that lethal player that they're looking for at that elite level.
Out here, we're working on a lot of transitioning, walking the blue line, puck retrievals. Lots of that has to do with being able to take good angles to pucks, good routes to pucks, being able to shoulder check, being able to execute some deception. There's a setup, there's a trap, there's a payoff to every move. So making sure that the players are understanding the process in how to identify danger, identify options, and how to misdirect players under a stressful environment.
So a lot of our focus points here at the Program of Excellence Under 15 is going to be helping the goaltenders a lot with their preparation before the shot. Things like leading with the eyes, scanning the ice before they make their movements, being able to put themselves into the right places at the right times, and ultimately set themselves up for success when the shot comes off the stick. We're also going to be tying in a couple small technical areas where we're talking about a lot of sequencing in their movement, about how the body is supposed to operate from the top of the head down into their skates in order to generate that real strong and effective movement.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Angus Glen Community Centre here for second period action between the North Bay Trappers and the Waterloo Wolves. After 20 minutes of play, the Wolves hold the 1-0 lead. Michael Ball scoring his first of the tournament on the low-lining shot that fooled Logan Coates and squeaked between his legs. The assist on the play to Emery Alves, picking up his third point of the tournament. A 5-on-3 to start the second period for North Bay. 7 seconds remaining on the penalty to Wyatt Marks. And Zach Forwell also taking the penalty. Here's the replay of the goal. Coach just standing back up, was not expecting the shot to come quick at all. And it squeaks between the big netminder's legs. On the other end, Grady McCall, fantastic in the first period. Really got tested late due to the 5-on-3 from the Trappers. He had a rough game in his first day of the tournament on Monday. Still came away with the victory, but just the 800 save percentage and 6 goals against. Luckily, his offense picked him up in that game as Waterloo, one of the few 2-0 teams in this tournament. 5 points for them through the first 2 games. They picked up the big regulation win yesterday over the North Shore Whitecaps in a scrappy game, to say the least. 7 seconds of 5-on-3 here for the Trappers. 1:21 on the second power play as we are underway. A quick push here by the Trappers as Fournier takes it across the line, but it's quickly rejected here by Bonneville. Forwell's in the box. Marks back out as Popke across the line. North Bay looks to get set up. Popke dancing with it on the near side flank. He'll roll it down to the corner for Siegel. Siegel trying to move it free, but taking away Marks. He'll launch it down the length of the ice as it just goes to the side of Coates. Synot over to Popke. He'll kick it back. Siegel leaves it for Popke. Draw past Synot. Trying to wind up the offensive defenseman as he'll take it across the line. Dropped off. Fournier over the middle. He fires a shot missing wide of the target as it bounces behind the net. Popke, 29 seconds on the power play. It's swung down low. Siegel up top. Synot, long shot in. It's blocked in front by Sinclair. Popke on the near side flank. Up high, Synot again. He sees a shooting lane, but it's turned away by McCall. 15 seconds to go on the man advantage. There's a pair of shots by Synot. The second one, he finds the lane, able to sneak it by Sinclair, but McCall takes away the angle. North Bay not able to get a deflection on it there. Just 15 seconds left on the power play. Face off taken by Strauss. He'll wait on it. Siegel applying pressure. Long stretch passes. They're looking for the home run shot. Off angle shot turned away by Coates. Sinclair picked it up off the big bounce on the end boards, but couldn't squeak it by Coates. Back to even strength. As Siegel trying to walk it through. Turned over. Montroy in the offensive end. Dances by one. Montroy looking to pull the trigger. Forwell ties him up as it's loose for Siegel in front. He has it knocked off his stick. Siegel looking to pick it up as poor timing change for Fournier as nearly could have had a chance back in the offensive end as McCall will cover that up and force a face-off off to his left side. 18-13 to go. McCall, the Brantford, Ontario native, a very strong regular season and postseason for the Waterloo Wolves. A 14-1 record in the regular season. The 1.57 goals against average. That only got better come postseason time. 1.13 goals against average in the Alliance postseason. This one off a glove and knocked down by Smith. Now he tapped forward into the offensive end as scooping up is Logan Young. He'll shovel it out front as Smith was lurking in the blue paint, but couldn't get good lumber on it to tap it by Coates. First shot of the period, or excuse me, second shot of the period for Waterloo. They had 12 in the first frame. They outshot North Bay 12-7 in that period. A good chunk of the Trappers' shots came late in the period via the power play as Smith will work it over center. He fires the shot, glove down by Coates as he frames it like a back catcher there. As he'll force another face-off just to his left side. North Bay wholesale forward change as they'll roll out the top line, featuring the top defensive forward from the NOHA and Scott Siegel, the captain. Siegel against Humphrey on the draw. Humphrey swings it back quick, long shot in. It's turned away by Coates. Fournier, he'll tap it forward where Strauss will take and he'll angle it towards Coates. Hanam on the rebound, long delayed offside, and that's going to come all the way back as Sawyer Smith, I think, might have been unaware, as him and Gravel have some words after the whistle. Linesman's quick to break it up as faceoff should come all the way down, and that's what the North Bay bench is asking for, as it was a delayed offside. They want the offensive zone draw, not going to get it here. Puck is tied up in the linesman's skates as he nearly has his feet taken out from underneath him. Strauss gets the red line, flips her in the offensive zone. Didn't quite get all of it, but it works out as Forwell scoops up the puck first. Forwell on the forecheck. A quick pass to Hobson, but that shot misses wide of the target. Strauss onto a sharp angle. The net is off its moorings. The official appears to not see it, as that right post is not on at all right now. Forwell into the offensive zone. Gravel. Hanam trying to get the attention of the officials. Riseborough will move it quickly as Siegel flips it into the offensive end. Quick fix by the official as puck comes loose to the side of the net. North Bay on the attack. That one dropped off by Buckman as he was hopping up in the play. Coates has to play it as the long dumping was on target, as they'll play it over towards the Waterloo bench. They were trying to trap them into a too many men call. Sign up. Brings it back the other way. Buckman moves it over the middle. Long lead feed by Hodges as they'll be tapped into the offensive end by the Trappers. Miller brings it around the boards. Buckman cuts it off. Hodges looking for the tip forward as they'll be played into the Waterloo end. Long feed up for Hobson. Hobson from a sharp angle. Off the post, off the back of Coates, and he makes a great save on the goal line, denying Marks trying to bank it off of him. As North Bay has a chance the other way. Hodges across the line. He'll drop it off. Long shot in is turned away off the chest of McCall. As here comes Waterloo the other way. Back and forth action. Marks across the line. Kuhneman with it. He fires a shot. Nearly tricks Coates off the post. Wyatt Marks missing the tap-in opportunity. Had the chance at the side of the goal. Coates didn't have his leg against the post, as there was a brief second where the cage was awning, and Marks put it right across the goal line. Exciting action here in the 1-0 game. 15:35 going in the second. Collective deep breath from everyone as Coates will love tap to the post. Helping him out twice there. Faceoff's one back. Colbert gets tied up as he's able to flick it out himself. Ball, a lone goal scorer to this point. He'll cut it up the middle. Over to Alves. Alves across the line. Right into the slot. Kuhneman looking for the extra pass, but couldn't fit it through. Grant. And that's going to be an interference call, I believe, on Gravel. Cross-checking the call as he takes out Kuhneman. And for the first time today, Waterloo goes to the man advantage. So far in the tournament, 3 for 8 on the power play. One of the better power play units we have seen to this point in the tournament. North Bay had their struggles on the penalty kill, just 4 for 6 in the tournament. Montroy against Forwell on the draw. Faceoff's one back to Ball. Across the line, maybe. He waits. It's deflected off the stick of Synot. The defenseman playing high there, but the deflection works in his favor. This one nearly turned over as Montroy was trying to jump up in the rush. Across the line, Humphrey. He'll hit the brakes as he banks it off the boards all the way around for Forwell. Up to the point, maybe. D-to-D ball. He'll walk in. Down to the goal line, Humphrey. Back up to the top of the circle. Ball, a shot. Guts deflected in front as Humphrey swings around Forwell. Chips it off the boards down to Humphrey. He's at the goal line from the sharp angle. He's in tight. Trying to tuck it past Coates, but it goes up and over the target as it got deflected. Humphrey, quick pass out to Smith, but it's blocked by the stick of Synot, up and out of play. We'd like to say thank you to our partners for supporting today's event. Special recognition goes to Milk, a proud partner of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Dairy Farmers of Ontario are proud to support young athletes and encourage healthy, active lifestyles. LaFontaine against Forwell on the draw. Forwell wins it back. Ball controls at the point. Swings it over to Maybe. Maybe looking for the backdoor feed. Tried to squeeze through to Forwell. Trappers can't clear. Forwell up to the blue line. A nice pass as Forwell gets it back. Look to go right down low, but it gets blocked in front by Maybe. And here go the Trappers with numbers. 3-on-3 the other way as a toe drag shot from LaFontaine comes from outside the zone. McCall gloves it down and gets it back out quick. Forwell taking it 1-on-3 right through the middle. He gets taken down as Coates was looking for the clear. It's held at the line by Humphrey. Siegel tries to clear the zone. It's hit to open space by LaFontaine. Up top. On over. Shot turned away by Coates. Big rebound scooped up by LaFontaine. And he'll take his time before firing it down the length of the ice. North Bay going for a wholesale change. All four skaters quick to get off. With it now Logan Young into the offensive end. Sawyer Smith off the back of the net. Anam slaps it around the boards. Strauss keeps it in. Humphrey with it. Moves it over. Up top. Long shot in from Young. Hard bounce off the glass. We're back to even strength. Young. Toe drag shot off the side. Stepping up in the rush was Kuhneman, but he couldn't get possession. Young slaps it back down low. Buckman looking to clear the line. A race for it at the point. Fournier can't clear the line. He finally pushes forward as Strauss couldn't ship it around him. Played right back into the offensive end. Coates elects to not cover. Puck comes free for Young at the goal line. Young waits behind the net, moves it out quickly. Jam play at the side, and Sinclair is turned away as Sinclair and Buckman have a pushing and shoving match. Alongside Young and LaFontaine having some words. Coates keeps the puck alive there as Young trying to get Coates to move. Does get him active on the post, but the big 6'3" goaltender able to stay low. Quick transfers between the posts. One of the issues coming with that size is the ability to knock the posts off in a minor hockey designed arena. Posts back on. LaFontaine, Kuhneman on the draw. LaFontaine gets the door as Montroy comes in. Puck's tied up, taken away by Starcevic. Starcevic moves it out for the Trappers as the feed over the middle gets knocked into the offensive end by LaFontaine. Wolves looking to move it in transition. Kuhneman to the outside. With it now is Sinclair, the big body forward. And once again, the net comes off. Coates having all kinds of issues with the net here. Entrippy, the official online championship apparel provider, offers championship gear available for order now. Scan the QR code in the bottom on the left to shop from anywhere. .12:23 to go here in the second. Howell makes a nice move, fast, trying to move to the slot, but knocked down by the stick of Siegel. Gravel backhands it through Fournier. He'll chip it off the glass, up and down into Waterloo territory as bearing down on him was Popke. Puck pops free, a nice defensive effort by Fournier. but springs Forwell into the offensive end. Forwell hits the brakes at the goal line, moves it up high. Little D to D. Howell can't hold the line. That pass a little too quick to handle. Burnett. No way, he takes the check as Popke moves over the middle, intercepted Howell, toe drag shot as the stick gave away on him. Forwell spins around from one check, loses control of it to Fournier as it's moved up to Popke. Over to Siegel. Popke looking for the return feed as McCall quick to cover, and the officials quick on the whistle there. I think the whistle went before McCall even had possession of it. Francis Popke, the ever so dangerous forward for the Trappers, 41 goals this season. Already 2 goals here through the first 2 games. His line mate, Scott Siegel, 60 points on the season, 13 in 6 playoff games for the Trappers. Face-off is won, and the shot to the point is blocked by Fast, and now he has a fast break the other way. Fast fires the shot turned away by the right leg of Coates. Up to the point, ball, D to D, maybe. The long winding shot misses wide of the target. Forwell trying to drive it back to the point, but had it blocked. Pass goes errant as ball can't hold the line, and McCall out first to play it. Have to be careful with Montroy bearing down as you as goaltender, as we saw last night in the game against Toronto. He intercepted the pass from Hallett and scored the opening goal of the night for North Bay. Synot now with it. Worked over to the far side, but that deflects off, sticks up and out of play. Gatorade, the official sports nutrition beverage of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships, fueling athlete hydration and recovery to keep performance at its peak throughout the championship. Shots now 19-10 in favor of the Wolves. Shots 7-3 in favor of Waterloo in the second period. Faceoff comes back on the North Bay side of neutral. Score still 1-0 in favor of Waterloo as we approach the midway point of this game. Hanam off the boards forward for Hodges as he's taken into the boards by Nierizel. Miller drops it back. Nierizel looking for the clear as Hallman deflects it forward to Humphrey as Humphrey gets ridden into the boards by Matthias Moore. Grant back for Buckman. Return feed Grant. He'll flick it forward as Miller controls. Moore fires the shot as now up on your screen the poll on YouTube of who is going to win this game. You decided, and here are the results. 10:05 to go here in the second period. Waterloo holding the 1-0 lead right now. North Bay on the attack. Top line back out there. Siegel against Kuhneman on the draw. Siegel will be kicked in proper procedure as Fournier will now slide on in. The Hearst, Ontario native, 2 assists through the first 2 games for the Trappers. Puck comes free at the side as Alves is first to it. Up to the point. Gravel can't hold the line. It's slapped to the other side. Synot with it. He has his pass intercepted as stepping into the offensive end was Liam Strauss. But stepping into the check was Jason Synot. He's able to halt the Wolves right at the line. Forced a little bit of missed timing, and the offside is called. Both teams having their chances. Goaltenders been spectacular tonight. Logan Coates, phenomenal for the Trappers, really keeping them in this game as Waterloo's offensive attack has been relentless. There's one play around the boards. Alves lets it go for ball. Ball trying to fire the shot, but it's blocked by Montroy. Montroy on the counterattack with Starcevic. Montroy can't get free to pull the trigger, as he finally does, as that shot's deflected up and over the target. Waterloo looking to move this out quickly as the puck will trickle all the way down. No icing the call, as Gravel has to get back and slap it around as Mark's bearing down on him. Alves in the corner trying to cut towards the net, but he's knocked off the puck. Brunette reverses it the other way as 188 hits the other up to the point. Maybe a long shot in, misses wide of the target. LaFontaine trying to move it forward. He's got a lane, but Mark's bearing down on him. Ball from the other side. LaFontaine can't pull the trigger as Ball takes it away. Alves with it across the line. 2-on-2. Nice pass over. Kuhneman in. His shot turned away as Marks went swinging at it like a baseball bat. Couldn't get any contact on the rebound. Pass in for Synod as he backhand flip shots it in on McCall as the Waterloo goaltender makes the glove save. There's Paul's long pass up for Alves. Turned into the instant break chance for Kuhneman. Went to the forehand, turned away by the big pad, and Marks went swinging for it, but could not connect. Kuhneman, the Walkerton, Ontario native. That one's off the side of the net as it comes to the slot. Moore, he fires a shot, rebound chance. Moore again, can't get it off. Spinning shot by Grant as it's blocked in front again. Miller, long feed up. Waterloo looking for something on the counter attack. Near Eisel, whistle blown offside the call. Jackson Near Eisel, the 5'11" defenseman from Kitchener, 26 points in the regular season in the Alliance. As said before the show, both of these teams had the best regular season records of all 6 teams in this week-long championship. The Trappers 35-1, and the Wolves 33-2. So slap to the far side, and it's going to be offside. Waterloo's got to tag up. Free clear for North Bay. One played around the boards as it comes over the middle. Hanam's shot is blocked. Smith intercepts the dump by Gravel. Smith into the offensive zone. His shot blocked by Gravel as Gravel gives him an extra little whack. Young moves it down for Smith. Gravel goes for the pin. Battle for it ensues. Forwell up to the point. Miller, long shot in. It gets tipped in front, but wide of the target. Near Eisel, long off angle shot. Goes all the way around for Forwell. Forwell kicks it up. Miller with it. Nathan Miller. He fires a shot wide of the target as it hits off the backside of the net. Near Eisel looking to center, but no one on the receiving end as Culbert's able to flip it out of the zone. Near Eisel tags up offside. As yet another offside call against the Waterloo Wolves. They're starting to pile up here in the second period. Shots now 21-11 in favor of the Wolves. 9-4 in favor of Waterloo here in the second frame alone. No scoring here in the second period. Owl, he'll chip it off the near side boards for Fast. Fast across the line. That one on target. Rebound chance as Humphrey was bearing down on goal. Coates couldn't get the cover on it. Fast up to the point. Strauss, a long shot in. Chance in tight as Sinclair gets dumped behind the play. Stick is down as Coates doesn't have possession of it. He won't be able to get it yet as Coates just goes for a skate. He has no stick with him. As he went to play it behind the net, but with no stick, that makes it a little difficult as a goaltender, but he's got it back now as we get another whistle here. 6:35 to play. Score still 1-0. Just the lone marker from Michael Ball, his first of the championship. The deciding goal at this point, 26:35 to play in regulation. Waterloo 2-0 in this tournament. A regulation win and an overtime win sits them at 5 points and second place. North Bay just an overtime win and a regulation loss. Their 2 points sits them in fourth in the standings currently. So we played over the far side. Buckman, he'll ring it back around. Synot's got to push for it as fast as first to it. Sinclair tied up by LaFontaine. Synot bashes at it up the boards. Ball. He'll ring it back around as a tie-up. Coates got the stick right around fast. He hooked him right in there, and with Fast trying to go, it pulled the stick of Coates and knocked the net off. So the face-off will stay inside. It appears no penalty to Coates. Appears he could be in a little bit of pain as he got jarred back from the Waterloo forward, as they're going to try and freeze down the post, squirting a little bit of water on each post. As Coates has been having some issues with the home side net. LaFontaine against Kuhneman. Gravel gets drilled into the boards by Hobson. As that puck clears the line, Ball can't hold it in. Ball will try to reverse it around as Kuhneman scoops it up first. Kuhneman the return feed, maybe. Back to Ball. Long lead feed just outside the reach as icing the call. Waterloo couldn't connect with Bonneville on the pass. The OHF is pleased to partner with HTG Sports Services as its exclusive accommodation services provider. HTG is committed to providing support services for athletes, teams, and communities across Ontario. 5:41 to play here in the second offensive zone draw. Nice move off the draw. Rebound chance at the side, turned away by McCall. Gravel with it. He's getting checked by Kuhneman. As Siegel will take it into the offensive end. He has his pocket picked. As Hobson with the takeaway. Puck gets caught up behind the net. As Popke trying to pick it free. Puck clears the line. Gravel first to it. Moyer swings it back over the middle as Popke gets it into the offensive end. Siegel nearly forces the turnover. Puck bounces high up in the air. Moyer holds it in momentarily, but it could be a 2-on-1 the other way. Hops it to the outside. Great back check by Popke as he's able to get the stick involved and force the turnover. North Bay with numbers across the line. Popke to the outside. He waits. Saucers it through, looking for Siegel. Puck comes free and it'll be taken away by Hobson as he gets pinned up on the near side boards. Battle in the corner ensues. Puck finally squirts free. Kuhneman, he'll move it out but can't clear the line. It's held in by Synot as he goes in on the rush. Puck finally comes all the way back to North Bay territory. No icing the call. Brunette swings it over for Moore. He'll get it into the offensive end. Hallman slaps at it. Held the line by Synot. And it's going to be too many men on the ice. The call. I believe it's going against North Bay here. And that will be the call. A too many men violation. And Waterloo back to the power play here. Waterloo 0 for 1 on the game, but they've had a very successful weekend so far now. At a 33% clip on the man advantage. Gravel, he'll just go for the pin as he gets rocked by Marks. Puck comes free. Forwell scoops it up quick. Up to the point, maybe across the line to Ball. Ball will work it down the half boards as Maybe with it. Ball at the goal line. Looking for the slot pass. Up top, Maybe. He unleashes the shot. It's tipped in front and misses wide of the target. Gravel will slap it down, and it's off the stick. Forwell's got to touch it first. As what do we call a hand pass? And the forward smartly touches up first. As Forwell will drop it back. Maybe with it. Maybe with a burst of speed to the outside. He'll hit the brakes and leave it up for Humphrey. Up top ball, across the line, Forwell waits, fires a shot, he scores! Zach Forwell! Power play goal, and the Wolves lead 2-0. Zach Forwell, his hot tournament continues. His third goal in 3 days, and it's an absolute rocket past Coates. And Coates, he's coming out of the game. I think he's dealing with something. So now into the game. Yeah, Coates hobbling on the bench there. Zach Forwell's third goal of the tournament, as you see him on screen. Now into the game cold. Carson Ruddy. He played in yesterday's game against the Toronto Titans. An 0-1 record in the tournament with a 3.00 GAA and a 909 save percentage. Ruddy went 18-0 in the regular season in the NOHA with a 1.96 goals against average. And one of the things Kyle Morrison mentioned pregame about the North Bay Trappers, that they have two remarkable goaltenders. Here comes ball to the neutral zone, looking to test Ruddy early. Rebound chance, and Ruddy will scoop it up quickly. Scuffle after the play as Waterloo extending the lead here with 2:53 to play in the second. Michael Ball picks up the assist, his second point of the night. And now the 6-foot defenseman with 4 points in 3 games for the Wolves. And being escorted off the ice now is Coates. He looks to be in a lot of pain. Could pose a lot of trouble for North Bay, as could have a lot more hockey to go the rest of this game and potentially 4 more games. Could be down to one goaltender. That actually one of their APs is a goaltender. They brought along Graydon Joseph, one of the few teams who have an extra goaltender here. Is Synot, long lead feed, knocked down by Fournier. He's got a chance. McCall way out of his net. He's gonna clear it out, but a chance for Popke. He fires a shot, turned away by McCall. Rebound chance at the side. No goal called. And here comes Waterloo the other way. Sinclair with a burst of speed. McCall somehow kept that out. Drop pass. Chance for Strauss is turned over. Kuhneman down to Strauss. He's got a lane. Fires a shot. Rebound chance. Ruddy covers it up. And Sinclair bashing away at it. And pushing and shoving ensues as Sinclair drove the net hard. And Fournier and Kuhneman, more words after the whistle. Popke, a near chance to cut into this lead, and somehow the defensive effort might have been a collective effort there to keep that puck out at the other end. As we saw Strauss back in there working along the goal line, bashing his stick at it, trying to keep that puck out. Shots now 25-15. Long shot in, turned away by Ruddy. Forwell. He's getting manhandled on the offensive end, and that will be a call. LaFontaine heading to the box, holding the call, and Waterloo back to the box, or back to the power play, I should say, just like that. 1 for 2 on the game. And they're looking to test Ruddy here early. Face-off is tied up. And North Bay successfully clears the line. 2 minutes to play here in the second, 150 on the power play. Smith, he'll take it across the line. Works it into the corner as he's got some time, moves it over Forwell. He'll cycle it up to the point. Ball has trouble settling the puck, moves it over maybe. Backdoor feed for Forwell. That puck hops off his stick as Synod now pressuring him. Forwell dropped to one leg as he's got the puck back now. Great move by Forwell as he able to toe drag it around Synod, but couldn't get the stick off for a shot. Smith down low. Working with it, looking to center. Couldn't get it through to Humphreys. Starcevic will slap it down. It's partially nicked by Ball as Forwell right back on the attack, but not the case. As slow off the bench was Colton Sinclair. Offside the call with 1:10 to play here in the second. Waterloo leading 2-0 as we get to the late portion of this second frame. North Bay looking to kill off this penalty. Siegel on the draw. Forwell wins it all the way back to his own end. Excuse me, that's Alves. Near Izell. He's got the puck and he'll take it over the middle, just across the line. Alves to Sinclair, who fires a shot wide of the target. Young can't hold the line as Popke looks to go on the rush, but he has his pocket picked by Near Izell as Young pokes it forward. Can't get it through too as Siegel moves it up. Popke now waiting for Siegel, goes to the backhand, tries to tuck it in front, and that will get a call as Popke has a shoulder arm come in over his shoulder, as that will negate the rest of the Waterloo power play. Heading to the blocks, Jackson Near Izell, 2 for holding. The 4-on-4 action for essentially the remainder of the period. North Bay, just like the second period, will start the third on the power play, unless they score in the final 7 seconds of this period. Miller trying to work that puck out. Montroy with it behind the net. Montroy goes behind his back, works it out. Synod a shot as that pops up high in the air. Waterloo looking to clear. Helmy shot back in. Montroy, he'll circle back at the blue line. Moves it up high. Siegel, long shot in, looking for the deflection. Rebound is there. McCall couldn't squeeze it. North Bay holds the line momentarily. This will be worked off. Strauss, breakaway chance. Backdoor feed. Kuhneman, he scores! Will Kuhneman taps it home as the selfless play from Strauss. And Waterloo, the short-handed marker with 4.1 to play. Strauss fakes the shot the entire way, doesn't look over to Kuhneman at all. The no-look pass, able to squeeze it by at the last possible second. And Waterloo extends the lead late in the period, as North Bay has some work to do in the third period. Waterloo leading 3-0 after 40 minutes of play here in Game 1 of Day 3 here at the Central Regional Championships. You won't want to miss third period action up in 15 minutes or so. We can't wait to see you back here.
got something to call mine.
Starting today.
This building, this province, and these fan bases
Canada's
are
best men's under-18 club teams come to Peterborough this spring for the 2026 TELUS Cup. Who will follow in the footsteps of the greats that have come before? Catch all the action live from April 20th to 26th at the Peterborough Memorial Centre. Tickets are available now at hockeycanada.ca/TELUS Cup.
I love hockey. I always have since I was a kid, and the first shift is what got me into playing hockey.
In 2014, Hockey Canada and Bauer set out to create a program that would help introduce hockey to new-to-hockey families across the country. This program is called the First Shift. More than 10 years ago, Tim laced up the skates for the first time ever through a First Shift program in Scarborough.
Back in 2014, my parents first heard about the First Shift program through one of the local community centers. My parents immigrated to Canada several decades ago. They actually didn't know anything about hockey, even when we started. My siblings and I, we would watch it on YouTube, we would listen to the games on the radio, but we didn't really know much about how the game was played. And because of this First Shift program, we actually learned a lot about hockey. Without it, I don't believe that we would have been playing on the ice. Trying on hockey equipment for the first time was a very exciting experience. I'd only seen hockey equipment on the professionals and seen them on the ice, seen clips of them. Putting all the gear on, it was like I was one of them. Something that I remember most about the First Shift, the welcome event, was how overwhelming it was. All the gear, all the people. I really didn't know what was going on, but the fit experts were very professional. They knew what they were doing. They walked us through everything, and just the excitement afterwards is something that really stuck with me. Something that still stands out to me from that first experience is the coaches. Stepping out onto the ice for the first time was very exhilarating. I was a bit nervous, but the coaches, they took care of those nerves right away. And after that, it was just fun. After the First Shift, what kept me involved in hockey was the sanctioned minor program, the Scarborough Ice Raiders. I played with them for several years. First Shift means a lot to me personally. It kind of shaped my life growing up, because without this program, I wouldn't have gotten into hockey. Without hockey, I don't think I would be the kind of person I am. Being able to play on a team, work with teammates, day in, day out, build that sense of community is something that shaped my life throughout.
Having great fit experts is outstanding. They are the heart and soul of this program. Having experts such as Tim convey their love of the game and their expert advice on equipment fitting reassures family and begins their hockey journey in the best possible way.
It feels awesome to give back to the program that started my hockey journey. I'm very grateful to First Shift, and I'm grateful to be back here and be able to be on the other side, give back to other kids, give back to my community. So something that I would say to a family that's considering the First Shift program is that it's absolutely worth it. You're getting a full set of gear and ice time at such an affordable cost. You're also getting memories that your child will be able to carry with them through the rest of their life. It's something that you'll never forget.
I had a really rough year, obviously. It kind of brought some light to what had happened to me. And
you know, it was really perseverance in the face of adversity. Non-hockey related injury, but one of significance.
Getting the news that he had the fractures, and it was a compression fracture, and him not being able to move, and just waiting for the news to see if he needed surgery or if he was going to be able to walk, if it had hit any nerves. It was frightening.
it was hard, but what motivated me was the support I had around me. I felt like I couldn't fail.
With Dominic, he didn't walk away from hockey through his recovery. He continued to participate as best he could.
Hockey's taught me you got to do the hard thing, because usually the hard thing is the right thing to do. That perseverance, just pushing yourself through hard things, and It's helped shape the values of my whole personnel overall.
Today, everybody's busy. And to see young people like Dominic with the opportunity to set aside time to contribute to community is very important.
I want kids to have the same experience I had when I was a kid. I went to Knights games when I was younger, and you come home with a mini stick or a puck and it's like the best thing ever. I think a lot of people bond over hockey and what it's given to them, so I want to give the same to the future youth.
Having a scholarship program, it just allows us to recognize some of those individuals that have just taken that to the next level.
I mean, I cried. I was super proud of him being recognized for such an amazing award.
Obviously, I wasn't able to work for about 6 months. It's helped me and my family a lot, just paying for school and it being less of a burden.
It's not about just developing a hockey player. It's about developing good citizens.
So that specific shooting drill that we were working on today is to help give them those extra shooting techniques so that in a game-like situation, they're not just using one or two, they've got multiple ways of being able to shoot the puck. Not only does that make it more difficult for the defenseman to defend, but also for that goaltender to not only track it, but making sure that they're able to square up on the puck as well. So just helps them become more of that lethal player that they're looking for at that elite level.
Out here, we're working on a lot of transitioning, walking the blue line, puck retrievals. Lots of that has to do with being able to take good angles to pucks, good routes to pucks, being able to shoulder check, being able to execute some deception. There's a setup, there's a trap, there's a payoff to every move. So making sure that the players are understanding the process in how to identify danger, identify options, and how to misdirect players under a stressful environment.
So a lot of our focus points here at the Program of Excellence Under 15 is going to be helping the goaltenders a lot with their preparation before the shot. Things like leading with the eyes, scanning the ice before they make their movements, being able to put themselves into the right places at the right times, and ultimately set themselves up for success when the shot comes off the stick. We're also going to be tying in a couple small technical areas where we're talking about a lot of sequencing in their movement, about how the body is supposed to operate from the top of the head down into their skates in order to generate that real strong and effective movement.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for third period action here between the Waterloo Wolves and the North Bay Trappers. The Wolves have their foot on the gas here through 2 periods of play. They lead by a score of 3-0 as we head to the third and final period. In that second period of action, the Wolves outshot the Trappers 15-9. And they have now scored a goal in each and every possible way. The even strength marker in the first period, the power play goal in the second off of the stick of Zach Forwell, which you saw right there. And finally, with 4.1 seconds on the clock, the shorthanded break chance, as it was Liam Strauss with the all-time fake, leaves it off backdoor for Will Kuhneman. As this is a surprise. We look towards the ice. We look towards the North Bay net. We see back in Logan Coates. Logan Coates left the game with injury, but all of a sudden, he is back in net. Carson Ruddy having to face a few shots and a few chances there for the Wolves. As we start this period, North Bay on the power play. They gave up the shorthanded marker with 4.1 on the clock. It's really good to see Coates back in action. We'll see how he fares in this third period. North Bay looking to gain the line, trying to get back in this game. As Bonneville drops it back, maybe fires it down the length. Coates out to play it. He'll just dump it off for Siegel. 50 seconds left on the power play. Dropped off Synot. Makes one man miss as North Bay has numbers across the line. Synot looking for the backdoor feed. Siegel with a good stick lift on ball. Sees they'll get possession right back. Up high Montroy. Over to the near side. Synot looking for the backdoor feed as that gets deflected through the legs. As this one will be flipped out and knocked down by Synot in neutral. Synot, he'll wind it up from his own end. Gets across the red line. He'll fire it around the glass as it goes around. Sinclair first to it, but knocking him off the puck was Popke as the puck comes free, and Forwell on the attack the other way. Forwell takes it to the net. He's in alone. Tries to pull it to the backhand, but can't get the shot off. He's back on it. Puck jumps off his stick on the fresh ice. And we are back to even strength hockey. Big hit on the near side, and Forwell went down as the linesman saying, leave it, as Popke just took a stick to the ankle by Howell as he was skating by, and Forwell took the big hit, and Waterloo will go on to the power play. Here's the replay of it. Forwell gets caught with the puck in his skates, and Popke gets the initial hit on him, but Montreux cleans him up and throws him into the boards. Head contact, the call, and it will be a double minor for head contact. So an extended power play here for the Wolves. A 4-minute man advantage, maybe on the shot, and that one's gloved down by Coates. Waterloo 1 for 3 on the power play in tonight's game. It was Forwell who scored the power play marker back earlier in the second to give the Wolves at the time a 2-0 lead. Forwell on the draw. And that motion quickly by LaFontaine will get him kicked from the draw as puck is controlled. Forwell in the offensive zone. He'll slide it down for Humphrey. Humphrey rings it around Marks. Marks on the backhand, gets it up to Maybe. Ball, down low Forwell. He'll control at the top of the circle as they'll leave it off for Ball. Back to Forwell at the point. Forwell has to go to his backhand. Forehands it down low. Humphrey gets checked off the puck. Still maintains possession as he takes it onto the near side of the boards. Puck comes free, loose to the point. Up top, Maybe. He'll walk in, fires a shot, turn away, rebound chance and tight. Humphrey at the side of the goal, he scores. Eli Humphrey on the power play. And the Wolves lead 4-0. They're still going to have a 2-minute advantage here as 3:13 was still remaining on that power play clock. Took them just 47 seconds. As Humphrey driving the net here. The shot came from the left side, and with the rebound bouncing to the right, Coates tried to make the save, and once again, Coates exits the game as he chucks the blocker at the concrete wall. So once again, Ruddy back in. Waterloo now 2 for 4 on the game on the power plays. They'll remain here on the power play. Puck dropped off. Popke with a chance. He fires a shot. He scores! Francis Popke delivers for the Trappers, and they're on the board. It's 4-1. Quick release goal from Popke, and he has showcased that elite shot in the early goings of this tournament. He sees the space and he just wires it past McCall. Popke, his 3rd goal in 3 days, and makes the hill a little bit easier to climb for the Trappers. Both teams now with a short-handed goal in this game. Near Rizel drops it off Strauss. Long lead feed as it goes into the offensive end for Moyer. He comes all the way back. Strauss will walk it up as that one's deflected, and it'll be shot back into the zone. Now with a burst of speed is Fournier. McCall out to play it quick as they'll ring around. Fournier rushing to this puck as Near Rizel there first. Alves, he's across the line, takes it to the outside, driving in tight. Chance on Ruddy. Rebound chance, he scores! Emery Alves continues the high-scoring affair here in the 3rd. And the Wolves go back on top by 4. It's 5-1. The power play cooking with gas here for the Waterloo Wolves as Alves drives the net, gets the rebound, and fires it from the short angle. Waterloo's power play on fire tonight. 3 for 5 in the game. And now 6 for 13 on the week-long tournament. Waterloo leads 5-1. This one will be played down the length of the ice and will go for an icing call. 3:33 here into the 3rd period. Already 3 quick goals. First, it was Eli Humphrey on the power play. Then Francis Popke for the Trappers shorthanded. Capped off by Emery Alves. His first of the championship on the power play. The 4-minute power play, getting a net of 1 goal. Something if you're Waterloo, you'd be happy about. Not too happy about surrendering the shorthanded goal, but leading by 4 here with Montreux to the outside. Montroy, he gets pinned off by Hobson. Ball. He'll scoop it up. Hallman with it across the line. This one flicked on target, and Ruddy will get the quick cover up. As a late check behind the play, and that will result in a penalty. Hodges is being sent, or excuse me, Starcevic being sent off. I don't think he's too pleased with how easily his opponent went down. As here's the replay of the Alves goal once again. The latest of 2 Waterloo goals here in the 3rd. Synot and Starcevic headed to the box. And Kuhneman going for the Wolves. The officials trying to get a handle on this game, as yesterday's game between the Wolves and Whitecaps got a little bit out of hand. So for the 6th time tonight, the Wolves to the power play. 3 for 5 on the game. We'll see what they have in store now as we approach the 4-minute mark here in the third. Humphrey up high, ball, he has a lane, ball, move it down low. With it is Forwell. Forwell to the slot, Humphrey to the backhand, a chance turned away by Ruddy. Up high to the point, ball, moves it to the far side, Forwell waits, moves it down low, looking for the return feed, jam it, the side of the net, they score. Wyatt Marks squeaks it through the legs of Ruddy. And Waterloo's power play continues to haunt North Bay. As that time Marks tapping it home. For Wyatt Marks, his first goal of the championship. Once again assisted by Zach Forwell, who continues his strong championship performance. The low lining passes. He was ready to cut in for the return feed, but Marks decided to take it to the front of the net. That can be the challenge with the new goaltender in Ruddy. Comes in cold. He might come in lukewarm as he's been in, out, and back in again in this game, as Logan Coates seems to be dealing with a recurring injury. We'll see if he's going to be okay for tomorrow's game. Ruddy would be likely to start that game anyways, as most teams rotating goaltenders in this championship. Tomorrow, North Bay back at the matinee slot, playing here at 12 o'clock against Ottawa Myers Automotive. That shot comes to the point and it's deflected wide. Near Izell. He moves it down low. Backdoor feed. It's off the post. Waterloo foot on the gas here in the offensive end. Now leading in the shots 32-17. Miller, he gets taken down. It's a nice move to the outside as taking away the puck was Grant. He'll fire it into the offensive end where Grady McCall to slow it up. McCall plays it on the near side. Return feed near Izell. Moves it over Forwell. He makes a hard move to the net, but he has the puck knocked off his stick by Moyer. Forwell backhands it through, knocked off in traffic. Here comes Sinclair into the zone. Rebound at the side of the net as can't jam it home. Puck comes free, fast. Moves it up to Howell. Howell walks the line. He sees the lane. Fires a shot up and over the target. Popke trying to slap at it to clear the zone. Can't escape. Siegel. He's getting wrapped up by Sinclair here, but escapes the attack as Siegel pressing at the line. It's whacked back in to Trapper territory. Siegel gets it in the offensive end. Fournier with it. Toe drag move. Gets to the backhand. He gets taken down. Puck still loose. Popke moves it forward to Siegel on the side of the goal. Right back in front. Popke. He whiffs on it. And a chance the other way. Forwell across the line with numbers. Forwell to the outside. Drops it off. Strauss fires a shot turned away. Rebound chance to the corner. Forwell on the puck as he gets pinned off on the far side boards, and another penalty coming here against the Trappers. Long shot in. Can't be deflected on the back door. Forwell moves it up to the point. Strauss across the line. Maybe walks. He scores. Chris Maybe with the delayed penalty pending. Fires it into the back of the net. And the Wolves lead 7-1. That doesn't count as a power play goal, but close enough to it. It was 6-on-5 as the puck crossed the line. The Waterloo Wolves, when they have numbers, they are dangerous. When speaking with GM Mike Bordeaux of the Trappers, he mentioned that this Waterloo team in their pre-scout, they're a highly, highly skilled team. I think it's one of the most, if not the most skilled team in the tournament. call on the ice has been overturned. It's now no goal. Can we take another look at the goal by chance? If we're able to see why this is called off. So the penalty's pending. Strauss moves it across. Doesn't look like there's any contact there with Ruddy. Here's the dual angle of it. It looks like Ruddy is complaining about contact. Hallman gets close to the blue paint, but Ruddy is playing very high on the circle. Regardless, the goal is called off, which sends Waterloo back to the power play regardless because of the boarding penalty to be pending. So we're back to a 6-1 game. Waterloo to the power play. Where they are 4 for 6 on the night. This one moved up to the point. Ball. He gets the return feed. He'll walk the line. Ball gets the return feed. Fires a low-lining shot. It's in tight. Rebound chance at the side. Turn away. Now it's in the slot as Marks can't pull the trigger. Puck's just sitting there loose. No one can get a clean stick on it as Humphrey finally scoops it up. Ball waits. Backdoor feed. Humphrey. He scores. Humphrey, the one-time shot. And Waterloo capitalizing on the power play once again. Waterloo's last 4 goals have been on the power play. And the goal before that was shorthanded. 5 power play goals on the evening for the Waterloo Wolves, and this power play is relentless. 7-1 Waterloo lead. As Eli Humphrey, he picks up his second goal of the game. Now 4 goals in the tournament. Puck will be played in the offensive end. Eli Humphrey, the Cambridge, Ontario native, had 21 goals in the regular season, 13 in 11 games in the playoffs, and now 4 in the first 3 games. Here come the Wolves on the attack again. Kuhneman, backdoor feed, that one off the stick of Smith and wide. Shots now 36-18 in favor of the Wolves. The most lopsided game we've seen this tournament. Puck stays in on the line as ball moves it to Smith. Backdoor feed. Kuhneman couldn't tab it home. Ball. He gets the return feed, walking the blue line. Ball moves down low. Smith over the middle of the ice, and it's taken away. Ronan Grant in transition. He'll get to center, fire it in deep, and go for a change. Strauss behind his own net. Long lead feed. It's deflected off the stick of Fournier and around Ruddy. Alves, sharp angle shot, looking for the backdoor feed was Young. He can get a stick on it. Another shot, they score. Ruddy asking the officials again for some contact in front. And I believe someone was just kicked out on Waterloo. Will Kuhneman gets shown the gate. Unsportsmanlike conduct, the call. He's just going to the box for 2. So North Bay back to the power play here after the latest Wolves goal. There's a long shot in against Ruddy. And it was Liam Strauss, assisted by Alves. And now a quick change for the Trappers. And here go the Trappers to work on the power play. 0 for 3 on the night. Starcevic on the near side. He'll move it up high. Montroy, his shot's blocked. Starcevic on the puck first. In front. Synot to the near side, moves it over the middle. Can't fit it through a sea of bodies. Starcevic first to recover on the near side. Starcevic up high, he'll sit at the point. Waits, fires a shot through, blocked by Howell. Synot recovers up at the point. He'll fire a shot through, blocked again by Howell. He gets the rebound, jam play at the side. Starcevic gets it free and he gets hammered from behind as this is gonna draw a crowd. Here's the shot by Synot. Starcevic sees it loose at the side and he gets buried. That draws the initial call and North Bay immediately taking action as Starcevic gets hit. And we'll see what comes from this. There's the 2-angle look at it. There's the pushing and shoving after the fact. The ref had some contact come in on him after the play too, as Bonneville's getting sent to the box. We'll see what goes up on the board here. Because I believe it will be a 5-on-3 and then a bunch of coincidental penalties. 10-12 to go here in the third. Wolves lead 8-1. Wolves offense has been high flying through the tournament. They scored 7 goals in the first game against Ottawa Myers Automotive. Beat North Shore 2-0 in yesterday's action, where the offense a bit of a slower day by their standards. But today, 8 goals. And it will be a 5-on-3 for an extended period of time. The score 8-1 for the Waterloo Wolves here with 10-12 remaining in the third. It will be a 5-on-3 as the officials sorting everything out. Officials now going over to Kyle Morrison and company. Kyle Morrison formerly played for the Gatineau Olympics in the QMJHL, as well as the Laurier Golden Hawks. And the face-off coming outside, North Bay. Josh Dale and his coaching staff unpleased as the penalty happened in the offensive zone, but the face-off comes out. Montroy right on the attack. He'll hit the brakes, works it up high. Synot waits, down to the angle for Popke. That shot misses wide of the target, and it clears all the way back to Trapper territory. So 5-on-3 here for the next 51 seconds. Synot across the line. He gets tied up by Miller, who sends it right back down on Ruddy. Ruddy long lead feed. Montroy across the line. He'll backhand it through. Not strong enough as Miller once again sends it down the length of the ice, and that will be tagged up for a high stick. There's a live update of the YouTube poll. When we asked you who you think is going to win this game. If you chose Waterloo, you would likely be correct, bearing a miracle here from North Bay as they trail by 7 with 9.5 to play. Miller sends it down the length of the ice. North Bay will momentarily take Waterloo momentarily will take hold of first place as long as this score stands strong. As another regulation win will put them to 8 points, passing the Toronto Titans. Titans playing later tonight. They've got the hosts on the docket today. They'll take on the Markham Waxers at 7 p.m. While North Bay Trappers puts them in an uncomfortable position. They'll still be hanging on to the 4th seed for the time being, but Ottawa and North Shore play against each other today. So with a regulation win, one of those two teams will pass North Bay, and North Bay will be in the 5th or 6th seed after that game and be on the outside looking in going into day 4. That one just onside. Grant drops it to the point. Fournier, 5 seconds left on the power play. Long shot in. McCall makes the squeeze as Hodges and Ball into a shoving match after the whistle. McCall been sharp here. Hasn't been tested often in the third. The shot's 10-4 in favor of Waterloo. Waterloo already 5 goals here in the third period. 2 seconds left on the power play. Nirazell looking for the home run shot, trying to find his man in behind the defense, but can't squeeze it through as Ronan Grant. He picks up the puck, just misses wide of the target. The 5'8" forward, 27 points on the season for the Trappers as Forwell's back into the offensive zone. Backhanded through Hallman. Behind the net with it is Forwell. It's moved over to the near side. Here's a long shot in, and it deflects in front and into the back of the net as Waterloo strikes again. It's now 9-1. Nirazell getting some help. I believe that hit off of a Trappers defender in front. It might have deflected off of Sawyer Smith. We'll hear in a moment from the PA announcer. And it is Smith who gets credited with the goal there. So Sawyer Smith assisted from Nirazell. Sawyer Smith, the 6'3" forward from Guelph, picks up his first goal of the championship. As that's the 6th goal here for Waterloo in the third period. Puck bounced forward and into the offensive end. Miller slaps it around on the backhand. Miller, he's got a burst of speed through center. He'll hit the brakes across the blue line. Moves it forward, Humphrey. Backdoor feed off the post. A nice pass on the back door by Humphrey to Marks, but Marks ran out of space and couldn't elevate before that right side post. Ruddy out to challenge that puck as it was dumped into the offensive end. We'll start to see a little bit more chippiness from North Bay. We've seen it all period long. Trying to get under the skin of these Waterloo Wolves right now. 9 goals on 42 shots for the Alliance champions. Again, these two teams tied back in December in the Gold Puck tournament on Waterloo's home ice. Strauss over to Howell. Return feed Strauss. Return feed to Howell. As Howell will walk it up, and the puck's taken away by Grant. Grant on side, works himself to the outside, over the middle for Starcevic, and it's taken away by Alves. Alves in transition, he'll get across the blue line. He's pinned off into the corner. And a big hit on Grant. One will be played around the board. Starcevic looking for the clear as it's held in by Sinclair. He'll play behind the net. Off the boards. North Bay fires this one in. Big game for North Bay tomorrow as they take on Ottawa Myers Automotive. One of the two teams currently below them in the standings, as that could be a big-time deciding game for North Bay. And then on Friday, they will take on the North Shore Whitecaps, the other team below them. So a lot to be decided still here in the standings at the Central Region Championships. The Waterloo Wolves get the other top team in the Toronto Titans tomorrow. That's a 3:30 game. Should be a great one between those two teams. That could decide first place in this championship going into the weekend. But still lots of hockey to be played. We're only on game one of day 3 here from the Angus Glen Community Centre as Hobson will work that one to the outside. Chip back down low behind as Buckman picks it up first. Carter Buckman celebrating his 17th birthday back on Monday, as that will go for icing. Celebrated his birthday in a good way. 3 points and an overtime win for the Trappers as they defeated the hosts by a score of 4-3. Both of these teams had overtime wins on the opening day back on Monday. North Bay's over Markham and Waterloo's over Ottawa. Since that point, no games have actually gone to overtime. We'll see if that changes later in the day. As Smith takes this behind the net, he'll move it up for maybe. The next game on deck, Ottawa Myers Automotive taking on the North Shore Whitecaps. That is the 5th and 6th seed currently in the standings, as a long feed by McCall goes errantly down the ice. No icing the call as Hallman's able to beat it out against Synot. Then finally, the nightcap today, the Toronto Titans from the GTHL take on our hosts, the Markham Waxers. Near Izell. Over to the near side, maybe. He turns it over as Fournier couldn't get a handle on it. It was only played in behind the Waterloo net. McCall out to slow it up for Near Izell. Bonneville tabs it forward. Marks. Lead feed in the feet of Young as Bonneville slaps to Marks. Back for Young, who overskates the shot. Bonneville brings it down low and behind the net. It'll be worked out by the Trappers. It's flicked over the middle of the ice. Young able to hold it in momentarily before it finally does clear the line. Bonneville. He'll pick it up into the offensive end as Gravel and Bonneville go whacking at it as a big hit laid by Lafontaine. Backdoor feed looking for Marks. Couldn't squeeze it through. Marks lays the check as Marks getting the brunt of a couple lashes by the Trappers' defense. Young turns and fires as North Bay lining up the hits. Across the line, Fournier tries to drop it off. Popke to Fournier into the slot. A one-time shot covered up by McCall. He denies Ronan Grant from the slot. Fournier hits the brakes, trying to move over the middle, and Popke no look passes it back to Fournier. Fournier finds his man in the slot, and there's a bit of a wobbly puck there, which can cause havoc for not only the shooter, but even the goaltender. McCall makes a good save, and what a bounce-back game it was for Grady McCall. He really struggled in the opener against Ottawa Myers Automotive, had 6 goals against, but was able to pull out the overtime win. Had 3 goals go past him in the first 5 minutes of the third period. But a big-time bounce-back game. 1 goal allowed on 21 shots. Restoring confidence in the coaching staff as that one's worked towards the net. Matthias Moore over the middle, looks for a shooting lane, takes to the outside, but he's knocked off the puck by Strauss. McCall got the responsibility of being the main starter in the Alliance Finals when taking on the Elgin Middlesex Canucks. That one's tapped forward and covered up by Ruddy. As mentioned, McCall, a 1.13 goals against average in the Alliance playoffs. Waterloo, two really strong goaltenders. Finn Pettipies, the shutout yesterday in the victory over North Shore. A 26 save shutout at that. And he had a .82 goals against average. We'll see who Waterloo elects to start against the Titans tomorrow, as that feed goes errantly down the length of the ice, icing the call. Popke thought he beat it, but not the case. Is a little bit of line jumbling going on here from North Bay. Culbert and LaFontaine out with Popke. Michael Culbert, 17 points on the season from the 2009 born right winger. Josh Hobson in on the draw. 10 points in the regular season for Hobson. Shot comes back to the point as a diving effort breaks up the chance for Popke. As they're back outside, that shot from Culbert knocked to the side wall as Hallman will be able to clear the line momentarily. It's dumped right back in by the Trappers. Ball moves it up. Smith to Hobson. They're in transition. He's across the blue line. Hobson to the outside. He fires a shot that's blocked off in traffic. Last minute of play here in the third period. Hobson cycles it down low. Right to the slot. Niereisel in alone, up and over the net. That one will be played all the way around. Sharp angle shot turned away by Ruddy. As North Bay flips this one out, Miller moves it up. Hallman, he can't control as it gets sent all the way back down. No icing the call as Miller's back first to it. He's got to evade the pressure from Moore. Miller over the middle. That'll be deflected forward into the offensive zone by Smith. Ruddy out to play it. He moves it around the boards as it comes back over the middle. Moore scoops it up first, and he'll just cycle it back in his own end. Long lead feed to the near side. Hodges across the line. He'll cycle it forward as Grant can't track that one down. Synot taking it towards the net. Can't pull the trigger in time as that will do it. Matthias Moore going after the Waterloo Wolves. We'll see if cooler heads prevail, and they will. The linesmen shuffling the Trappers back to their own end. That is going to do it from game one of day number 3 here from the Angus Glen Community Centre. The Waterloo Wolves move to 3-0. 8 points now puts them in first in the standings. The Wolves thrash the Trappers by a final score of 9-1. Next game coming up at 3:30 between Ottawa Myers Automotive and the North Shore Whitecaps. You won't want to miss it here on the OHF YouTube channel. We hope to see you there.
Thank you.